Says we are live. I got to update my browser on my phone because it's not doing anything. Come on. Internet must be slow today. Interesting.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm looking at the live. I don't see nothing either.
Yeah. Internet must be slow.
Nope, I just got the alert on my phone.
There
There
it says
we go.
it's live.
Yeah, I got something.
Oh, yeah. I got a commercial on right now. Got to go through the got to have the Tractor Supply commercial first. Skip ads.
I won't say what my ad was.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Sure,
welcome.
you didn't know.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, everybody. The 0 people that are here right now. Hello. Where's everybody? You're all probably all riding motorcycle. There we go. There's 2 people listed again.
Toby wasn't here last week, and now he's shaved. Nobody wants to see this crap.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Nobody wants to see this ugly mug.
Half Amish, half Mennonite crowd. There we go.
Mike, what's up, man?
We got Ozarks and Jason. Says 6 people so far.
Those 2 plus out of us. That'd be 7, but maybe your own person doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, welcome to the live stream, everybody. We'll start the questions at 2:00. There's Zed Heads. Everything's going good. Good weekend here. NEPA. Got a snow on Wednesday that they're calling for, though, which sucks. We're hitting 85 today and snow on Wednesday again. So Mike's going right back in the shed after this. Thunderstorms tomorrow. It's crap. It sucks.
Break out the Chanda, man. That'll go through anything.
I got to finish working on that. I had that torn apart for a little bit. As I haven't ridden that since February now, so making modifications to it. So it's pretty much back together. I got to get gas in it. Battery's probably dead by now, though. Been about 2 months. But I don't have to choke it. So
starting early. Here we go.
No choking the Chanda.
Yeah, the crackhead Honda.
That's what she said.
Crackhead Honda.
So it looks like we got a few people in the chats. I don't know if there's anybody besides Zedhead, Ozarks. I know Jason was in there. Throttle Fiend's probably out, or not Throttle Fiend. Yeah, Throttle Fiend's right there in front of me. He's not out riding. He wants to be riding though.
Hell yeah.
If I could figure out how to do this from a bike, it'd be great, but we'd probably all crash before the end of the live stream.
Yeah.
I wouldn't crash. I just wouldn't be talking that much.
I could do it, I think.
Yeah, it'd be hard to read the comments. Need something that reads off the comments to you.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't get none of the comments. It'd be a waste. But
yeah,
I think if I can funeral escort and watch all them idiots, I think I can do this. Not getting run over.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some real winners out there on the road lately. I don't know if you guys saw my post about the guy on the moped that got killed out here.
Doing 20 miles an hour on the expressway.
On the expressway. Guy was 61. I'm like, okay, he had to be high as fuck. There's no way in hell, man. I mean, even if I wouldn't even want to ride the shoulder doing 20 miles an hour. He was probably right in the lane like a dumbass. But yeah, 61 years old, man. That's a stupid way to go.
I mean, if you're going to go out on 2s. There's no standard of.
The thing that sucks is for that 21-year-old that hit him. That kid's going to have to have that unconscious for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Yep. All the semis, and I can't imagine just being on a regular sized motorcycle in the semis. Granted, most of the time I don't get passed by semis anymore, but still, you know how that is.
Yep.
On a heavy bike. Yeah. Nuts. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else is going on. I got like 3 weeks left of my regular schedule, so I'll have a little bit more free time. I'm hoping to bring Friday ride days back to my channel this year. I didn't ride as much last year.
You work for a school, right?
Yeah.
So you get the summer down?
I don't get. I will be working 3 days a week. I'll switch. My main job will be switched to days. I'll be working like 7 to 4. I'm gonna try and work the second job a couple nights and then one full day. So I'm hoping to have all day Friday to ride and then the weekends to do whatever. So I want to get back to going to different places though. As I said, after last year, Bubba dying, my neighbor died. Just a lot of people didn't survive the last couple years, and it wasn't COVID. So just other shit. Unfortunately, either way, I just know I want to get out more. I want to get projects done. I've got so many projects I've started over the years that I've just I'd work on it once and then it sits again for a long time. So, but Trippin' Trikers is here to see.
What's up?
Ozark. Let's see, what time is it? Is it 2? Yeah, it's after 2. I guess we could start doing the questions. We're doing it a little different today. We're still going to have like 5 questions, but each one of us is going to ask the question this time, and everybody else answers it. A little different, not too much different, but I guess I'll start with mine first. The first question I had was, if you had a chance to ride with any motovlogger, who would it be, or YouTuber even? I guess I'll go ahead. I don't know I guess I'll answer first since it was my question. By far, if I was going to do a road trip, it would definitely be Boots and Jeans riders. They've been all over this country multiple times. If anybody was going to be my tour guide, it would be them. And of course, I would ride with anybody that does a YouTube channel and rides motorcycle, even if they don't do YouTube content with the motorcycle. If you want to ride, let's ride. That's the way I look at it. But as far as someone that's an established motorcycle channel, it would definitely be Boots and Jeans riders. So, and that'll be your question, Mr. Oh, you didn't know, to answer.
My first thought was Boots and Jeans riders too, but I figured, you know what, this is YouTube. This is a chance to ride with anybody. So I'm going to have to say he's in the chat there, Zedhead Motovlogger.
Oh yeah.
One, because I like the guy. It's just when I can understand him, I like him. Let's say that. Sorry, Zed, but no, he's hilarious. He's a lot of fun. I think it would be a blast to ride with that crazy guy. I'd have to say Zedhead Motovlogs. Plus, I get to go overseas and ride too. So shoot a bonus there.
All right, Sinister, your turn.
Probably Saddle Tramp.
Just that's another good one.
Character, and he's so knowledgeable. I just feel like I could sit down by a campfire and crack open a few beers and hear some stories from that guy, and it'd just be interesting. It's like having your own personal mechanic if your bike breaks down. So
he's amazing, Sinister. He is. Wow, I met him down in Florida. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just watching his videos, he's super cool. I mean, just the stories he's probably got are quite crazy. So,
he actually come walking up to me and said, "Hey, you're Mr. Mixed." I was floored. I mean, the guy's like a legend, and he's very down to earth, very knowledgeable. Highly, yes, good choice.
I met him at the 5 Dirty Bikers meetup. It was an honor, a very big pleasure. It was really cool to see him.
He's just a kind of a even keel guy too. He's not like, he didn't get his channel really popular by being stupid stunts and oh yeah, I'm going to do this. No, I'm a guy that if I want to rebuild my motorcycle tomorrow, I'm going to tear it apart and rebuild it tomorrow. If I'm going to jump on it, go on a trip, I'm going on a trip. He's not doing giveaways. He's not doing goofy stunts, challenges. He does this thing. It's probably, as far as YouTubers in this category go, he's probably about as pure as they get.
For me, well, seeing as the theme it's going both ways, but I didn't actually think about outside of the USA. If it was going to be in USA, I think it'd be a blast to go on a ride with a trip with Whit Mesa, just because she's done so much.
God,
she's hardcore badass, 110%. If I were picking outside the U.S., I probably would say Bruce and Rel from Two Kiwi Riders. They seem like a hell of a lot of fun. And I get to go to New Zealand, which is a place that I've always wanted to visit, that Australia. So that would be cool.
Yeah. They've got a big motorcycle community there too on that little island.
Yeah, it's amazing
huge,
how big that is. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Toby, your question.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
I'm gonna kind of ad lib off of what Derek did with the inside, because before he said God, before you said Zenit, I'm sitting here thinking in the USA who, but then I was like, you know what?
Anybody, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many to think of.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess, God. Honestly, the thing I'd like to do would be to ride with John Maxwell again. With Maxwell. It'd be great just to see him get back on his bike. And I mean, I'm sure he still rides, but I met him down there during the poker run thing, and it'd be really cool to ride with him.
Well, Clay and Moto Sarge would have to be there. That would be just,
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I would love to see Moto Sarge and that involved with that, with riding with that too. Overseas. And I'm stealing that from Derek, but I would say Canada. If I were to say Canada, it'd be probably like the military biker maybe. But I mean, Canada to me is not really overseas. Being military, it's
right
across the state. It's across the line. So Zed is a great one. I think the more we have, we'd have to pull off someplace and just call it a night and say the more alcohol that's involved, the more we understand him. But great guy. That's me. Yeah.
All right. That's all good answers. I think
that's a testimony. I think of the community, because there's so many great bike motovloggers out there.
Yeah.
Australia, Europe, wherever. I mean, US. There's so many out there.
Yeah.
And of course, it goes without saying that President Company, of course, would be also at the top of the list. Obviously, I mean, I know we met at VAM last year, but I'd love to be able to take a long trip with you all.
I mean, I've pretty much ridden with all of you, at least individually. It's funny, I've never ridden with you, all four of you together. Just the way it worked out at VAM, and
that was my thing with the whole question when you first posed it. I looked at it, and my top list of who I can think of all that that I watch on a regular basis that I go back and forth with, I've actually ridden with all of them. We've made a point of at one point or another to get together and ride with them. Yeah. Other than that dirty Blue Bike and Doyle down there in Georgia, I mean, I love them all.
I tried to ride with Blue Bike and Doyle and all those guys at VAM. I'd go to get on my motorcycle, and they all be out of the parking lot up the road already. I'm like, really? They all stayed at the same hotel. I'd go to get on my bike, and I'd look. I'm like, all these fucking guys are gone.
He's a dirty dog, man.
We're gone. I'm like, okay.
You got to watch that guy.
It's like, I think there was like 7 or 8 of us that went to dinner that last night at that barbecue place. Jesus, I go to get on my bike. I was saying my goodbyes to people, and I go, look there, he's gone. Black Phoenix is gone. I'm like, everybody at my hotel left. I'm like, I had to ride home in the dark in the rain on the highway.
I was about to say, in fairness, it did start raining pretty good that night.
Yeah, it did.
I'm like, man, I get wiped out on the highway. Nobody's going to find me till like the next day, Jesus.
Or just don't get wiped out.
Yeah. I was more worried about the deers, because at least it was a decent highway to kind of ride back into Tazewell. But shit, I know how my highway is here. I'm hitting the brakes every day.
Yeah.
That's not just for the people driving. I got bears and coyote, whatever. I've had coyote running next to me before. It's nuts. I haven't seen any road runners though, just Plymouth ones. But, all right, Mr. McStash, Mr. Oh, you didn't know. It's your question to ask the crowd.
I was going to say I lost it.
Yeah.
Rallies or events? Do you have certain rallies or events that you make sure you hit every year? And why do you hit them every year if you do? We went to Rolling Thunder 10 years in a row. We're going back to VAM again this year. Randy had talked about going back to Bikes, Blues, and Ribs.
Barbecue.
Choke the chicken.
Barbecue.
Yeah, because he really enjoyed the place. But what was it you enjoyed about it? I mean, I know with VAM and with Rolling Thunder, it was the people. We met, the same people were there every year, and they were just amazing people to hang with and have time with. And we built a lot of experiences between either a broken down bike or, a problem on the side of the road or for whatever. It was just, it was like riding with Dan or somebody like that, where, you got so many memories. You want to go back and almost relive them minus the breakdown type thing. So, what's your reoccurring and why, I guess?
For me, I don't think it's so much an event. I think it might be an area or a place. Like I've been to South Dakota several times, but the rally wasn't going on. But I love the riding, so it's all about the riding. And I love the Ozarks, and I did go to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and I enjoyed it. I actually got to had a group ride with the Badgers and a bunch of other motovloggers. Mike was riding in the Ozarks HD Riders, Glide Arkansas was there. Just a bunch of just the opportunity to meet more people. We got to hang out at the Cat House, which is a really cool place to go. The owner, Jeff, is a cool guy. But for me, I like to change it up. I like to see something different. I mean, I will end up going back to the Ozarks, but they changed the date of Bike, Blues, and Barbecue. But I love the riding. But I'm going somewhere I've never been before too this year, which is the Stubborn American Rally, and a lot of people are going. So I'm definitely going down there. I'll probably be in Oklahoma for probably like a week. So I don't necessarily plan it that way. Like I said, it might be the area, not really an event, but at the same time, if someone's like wanting to meet up or anything, I'm up for that. But I like to just see different things because you only live once, and I'd love to travel to Canada. I know I've mentioned that before, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. It's you just don't know. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. It's more or less the area, not really the event, that I enjoy, because I just really enjoy riding more than anything. So
I'm kind of in the same boat as Randy. For me, my big thing is I just got started last year and had my my wheels knocked out from underneath me, so to speak. For me, it's about people, but yeah, I mean, Kristen really wants to. I mean, obviously, I want to go to VAM to see you guys. Bummed that you're not going to be there, Randy, but I totally understand. But Kristen wants to go. We're bummed that Des is not going to be there. She really wanted to meet her in person, but we're going to have a great time. And after that, we'll see. For me, I kind of feel like Randy is. It's a destination, not necessarily a particular rally or something like that. I mean, yeah, everybody's got the bucket. I mean, I want to do Sturgis at least once. Everybody keeps telling me the best time to go is when it's not Sturgis time, because the roads are clear and you get some great riding. In which, to me, like Randy said, it's all about the riding. I mean, yeah, seeing people is great and stuff like that, but it's all about the riding. So, hopefully next year I'll have a real boy bike at that point and can look into stuff. But it's going to be mostly about destinations, things that I want to see. Like really looking forward to hearing about the Route 66 trip that's currently in the works, and we'll see how things are as far as bikes and finances go at that point. But we'll see.
Yeah. It's probably a not, I don't know, unpopular opinion or whatever, but guys, I do ride for the destination. I love the riding, but to me, in some cases, the only reason they have the events is because they know it draws people. And and that's just me. Motovlogging, that's the reason that's the secondary reason I got into it, which, you know, kind of became the reason, was meeting other bikers and all that kind of stuff, other vloggers, whatever. So, I mean, hell, if it wasn't for, put it this way, Randy's right, riding around places just to ride. But if we didn't meet up and support and all ride to Tazewell to see Mr. G and everybody else, VAM wouldn't exist.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, so I love riding to locations for events to meet people, but riding together with them. I mean, VAM to me is VAM to me is kind of the epitome of that, because you're meeting people, but everybody knows we're meeting together to put physical faces with names and channels. And hey, this crap is real. I'm not just crazy talking to a microphone, talking to a camera. You know, Chris and Jason and Randy and Derek, you all freaking exist. It's not just, I'm not Mad Max Headroom and we're all not sitting here, you know, twisting and repeating ourselves on a TV screen. So, I mean, but the point is we meet and we know, hey, we're going to go do some cool kick-ass riding, you know? So that's, but, you know, the riding does not affect the coldness. It's, you know, yes, it's chilly. It'll grow back.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's
your
my
question.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess that's my question. That's a hard answer, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no wrong answer.
I don't have a local rally anymore. I mean, I don't know if we ever will again. I've said it before. Roaring the Shore is 100% done. They just don't want to hold it anymore. Had nothing to do with COVID. Harley Davidson of Erie had their same thing for the same week, and just the last 2 years, including this summer, they're not going to have it again. The city of Erie is really fighting back against like motorcycle events, and I don't know why. It's been proven that when we had Roar on the Shore, it brought in millions of dollars to the region, but they were worried about security. I'm like, you're safer when you got a bunch of bikers together than what it is normally in downtown Erie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the evil bikers are there, so I'm scared.
Yeah. You know, there's that post from New York State's got this anti-loud exhaust thing they just started this month. And so I don't know who the woman is. I try not to pay it. Unfortunately, politics are thrown in your face constantly. And basically, their excuse was when she went on the media was loud exhaust is intimidating and blah, blah, blah. And it's obnoxious. And it's like, whatever.
Bad drivers.
It's no different than going to a concert, having some massive concert.
No. But,
or sitting at a stoplight and somebody coming up to you with their super loud stereo system playing words that you can't say or don't say, or, you know.
Yeah. You know, and they were worried about having it here again and all the noise and all the whatever. The thing is, if you walk into downtown Erie now, all weekend long, there isn't shit going on. There's nobody down there. You know, they're complaining about, we have traffic issues because they blocked downtown. I can't get to this place or that place. You weren't going there anyway. That freaking downtown was empty. All you got is the crackheads walking around yelling at people. So don't tell me that, we went to dinner down there last night. We had a retirement party and another one of my wife's ex-coworkers. We were standing outside talking at the end. And there's this guy walking around. He's yelling at people, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to hurry up and get back in the car, get out of here. My wife, everybody's standing in a circle gabbing, and I'm like, this guy's yelling shit out in the air. He's waving his arms all over, and I'm like, there's nobody else around. he's just walking through town rambling or yelling. I'm like, and you're worried about bikers? Okay.
And if you'd had your leathers on, they'd have run towards him away from you.
Yeah. But anyway, as far as rallies, like I said, I would have been going to Roar on the Shore. I always took that week off from work regardless. It's only like a 5-minute ride to get there. So I always used to do that until they canceled it. Harley Davidson, if they do it again next year, I'll do the same. The only difference is the Harley Davidson one, unfortunately, is geared too much toward Harley Davidson, where Roar on the Shore was for everybody. So, like, if you went to vendors when they had the Harley event, it was basically everything that you could get to put on your Harley and screw Honda, Indian, Suzuki, any other bike. That's all they did. Yes, they had a few concerts, a few decent bands, but But other than that, like you go to the rally, if you want to have something put on your bike, it's only if you have a Harley. So unfortunately, which is fine, but say, VAM, I'm going this year. I went last year. Next year, if it's held, it's still debatable. Honestly, it's just going to matter on what I can afford to do. And if there's anything else going on, just finances right now are hard. I'm trying to get the Fairlane done, trying to get my daughter to finish up school in a couple years. You know, we got the trip to Wisconsin for her triathlon this summer. So those are my 2 trips other than going to wrestling this week and a lot of concerts. The nice thing is all these concerts are coming back. So that's hard too, because you end up spending the money on hotels for that. So that cuts into you doing anything else. So Sturgis, I would definitely go back. It wasn't as busy as it probably should have been when I went in 2020, but I would definitely go back. I missed out on a lot of riding out there. I do like being around the people. If it got too crowded, then I just stay away from it. But I mean, I haven't been to any Blue Bike and Doyle and barbecue and steak rides and chicken rides and whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, avoid that Blue Bike and Doyle guy.
I mean, he's going to have that big rally at the Barbie Beach next year. So,
I went to that place. That's not even right, man. That place is.
Hey, that thing's cool. I've been there a few times. You know, I went with my dad. He's the one that actually showed it to me. That's inventive.
Barbie Beach?
What they do with that place is inventive.
Yeah. But, all right, I guess that kind of answers the question. I got sidetracked, but that's all right.
We're allowed.
Normal. All right, Sinister, your turn for a question, I guess.
Yeah, so this is more around YouTube stuff. I know we kind of touched on it in the past, but not really got in depth with it. But I was actually thinking about buying a drone. But my question is it worth the money? Is it going to bring more people to my channel? I mean, I love the views, but is it really worth it? I mean, is it going to make a difference? I was kind of looking for your thoughts and people in the chat, what they thought about it. Do you like watching videos with drone footage, or you're good with, you know, the GoPro footage, or maybe a 360 camera really changes things. So I'm just kind of going back and forth trying to figure out, is it worth the investment, or not just for YouTube? I mean, I know because in a lot of cases, here's some of the doubts I have is like, you can't fly it in certain restricted areas. Obviously you have to have a license, you know, you have to register it. I believe Full Throttle Hog Ryan, he did a video about that. So that's the other thing is it worth it? You know, you can't really fly it in national parks, right? Yep. So, and I think that's where a restriction is, where you'd have to have a special license maybe, or maybe it's not even. So those factors kind of play into my decision, and I'm just kind of looking at, what's your thoughts? What's people's thoughts in the side chat about actually viewing videos like that? Is it really worth an investment?
Since I'm next in the circle, I'll go. As somebody who's actually purchased a drone for that very reason, and has yet to actually even take it outside for a number for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest one is I bought it and then I found out, like you said, Randy, about all the regulations and this and you know, New York, they're gonna freaking, if there's a regulation they can have, they're gonna have it. But I do have a plan, Toby. I do have a plan to get out there soon with it now that the weather's getting nice. But so here's the thing. If I see drone footage, I think it's freaking awesome. That being said, if I'm watching somebody's channel, I'm watching it because I like their content. So that's like putting sprinkles on ice cream. You know, the ice cream's already awesome. You just kind of throwing that little extra in there. So, I'm also a tech geek too, which I don't twist, from what we've talked to you, kind of kind of same mindset. Yep. So, if you've got the bones to blow, and I swear.
Bad word choice.
If you've got the extra scratch,
For the audience, those in the live chat, Derek speaks specifically for himself.
If you've got the extra scratch and it's not going to bother you, which knowing you, it probably wouldn't. But you're practical like I am. I again, people are gonna like. For example, one that really sticks out to me is Blockhead. When he first started his channel and he worked with whichever Orlando Harley Davidson or whatever, which one he had the start to the beginning of his video where it would he would drone up and you get the tower at the top of the store and all that. And he had a couple times where he actually flew the drone in the dealership. That was pretty cool, but it didn't make or break the video for me. I mean, if I'm gonna watch you, Randy, I'm gonna watch you because I like your content. If you happen to use a 360 camera, which I know you already have because I saw it at BAM last year, so definitely continue with that. And if you want to do the drone, do it. But I wouldn't put it as a must-have or even a basically go in with the expectation it's going to do nothing for you other than scratch a tech itch for yourself. If it happens to, great. But then again, it also does open up other things you can do with it, not just for YouTube. But only you could answer that.
That's true.
I think the one thing I took away from that is Randy, Derek likes your bones. That's
noted.
But, well, I'll leave it at that. So no, Derek he brings up great points, but I was thinking like two primary points. It's like one, as he said, people watch channels for the content. So I mean, what do you could buy the best drone in the world, be certified in all sorts of ways, but if you don't make good footage to caveat and complement the videos you currently have, you're wasting your time. I mean, even Riding the Ozarks, Mike even says, we all, whether you decide to use B-roll footage, is that going to be what the drone's going to include? So, I mean, it really, I don't feel myself, I'm not getting one anytime soon because I'm still trying to find balance with the content and the channel that I'm doing. So, that's the big thing. It's, you don't want to buy it and then
have it sit for a year and a half. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, with us being in Kentucky, I mean, maybe it's a timing thing too, where don't buy it in the spring and in the summer because you're going to be riding it and you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time in a shed or in a garage figuring the damn thing out and learning it. Maybe if you're going to get it, wait till the later fall till the weather starts turning cold and where you can actually practice it. You're going to have more time for that, if you will. I'm not saying you're not a year-round rider, but that'll obviously you're going to have days where drone footage. We get a new sponsor?
Not yet.
It's like, what is that background? Anyway, I that's why I say I'm in the same boat. I'm like, the two things would be, what content are you going to do? Doesn't matter what drone you get, because whatever you do with that drone, people watch it for you, Randy, for what you do,
Yeah. I've considered a drone. I really don't know if I want one. I don't know how I can use it to really do anything different than anybody else does. I like when Open Rotor was still in Italy. He used to go around a lot of the architecture and stuff out there. The one nice thing about there, he could actually walk into a lot of it versus here where you can't really go into areas with it, and let alone walk into the areas and actually touch all the architecture like they do in other countries. But if it's used appropriately, I really like it. If it's just a video, just using the drone, I don't like it as much. It kind of just, I don't know. If the best example of videos I've been watching lately as far as drone footage is Adventure Tomic. I don't know if anybody watches his channel, but he does a lot, like all the trail rides, and he has the camera follow him. And I love what he does with that. He's out there riding in the snow up the mountains. He's got the camera following him on the bike.
Yeah, I actually reached out to him and asked him about his drone, and that's what I would use it for. Is like if I go somewhere, mountains, and I want to show the mountains or Blue Ridge Parkway, or that's what I want to do.
That's another. Not to
messing with the drone, and I'm in a parking lot in Walmart. No, I ain't doing that.
So that's another thing. For me, obviously, I don't do anywhere near the type of traveling that you do, Randy. So you're going to be all over the place. You're going to have all these great vistas to show off and all that.
Yeah.
For me, the closest place that I would think of that would really accentuate with a drone would be what's that park near us? CDL Letchworth.
Letchworth.
Yeah, it's known as the Grand Canyon of the East. I mean, there's only so many videos I can make in it.
Yeah.
So, and B-roll, I mean, is great, but I spent $600 on that drone. I mean, I would need years of B-roll for it to even come close to paying me back for what I spent on it.
Well, it comes back to what you're saying there, Derek, about, I mean, help me remember the name here. I think the husband's name is Brian, Bunny King Hogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
He does some phenomenal drone footage wherever they ride around to, and they both ride. So, I mean, you bring up a great point with that. I mean, Randy, for what you've done as far as your riding to historical locations, I mean, if you're able to running any kind of a drone around spots like that, I know you said some of them are national parks, but I mean, in some cases, I'm sure people aren't going to, it's like, you're not wearing a mask, put a mask on. Oh, you got a drone up, put your drone down. But, I mean, it would be one hell of a add-on to it. It could just make it better if you're proficient in it,
Well, you want my frank opinion? And this is one of the things that I've struggled with a lot, even before the accident. But we're such a niche genre on YouTube. If you went out and bought yourself a drone and went for rides and stuff and took footage and used the B-roll for your riding channel, but created a separate channel of drone footage, I can guarantee you, I'd be willing to bet a large pizza that you'll get more traction with that drone footage channel than you would just because, unfortunately, that's just how YouTube is.
I wouldn't even create a separate channel. I mean, his channel name is general enough to be not just that.
True, fair enough.
It's like Chris, he puts the stuff with his truck on there, and that stuff gets, as he's admittedly said, that gets more traction than what some of his bike stuff does. So, if Randy did the same thing, then hell yeah. I mean, that's absolutely. It increases the niche or the expand of what you would be, the crowd. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, if it helps your channel out, great. A lot of times I don't think it does anymore. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say what people are looking for anymore. I haven't figured it out as far as the motorcycle content. Everything I've been doing has just been so.
I was gonna do the same thing that I did last year, Randy. I was gonna say I'll bring the drone to Van. Because last year I said I'd bring my 360 and you could check it out because before that you didn't have one, but then you got the van and you had one, but you're not going to be a van this year. So again, it's completely up to you. Me personally, knowing how much you travel, I think it would be worth it, but that's a question only you can answer.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments from Dan and from Jason.
My turn?
Yeah.
I have both the 360 and a drone. It's like a GoPro or your audio. There is a steep learning curve to it. Once you get past that learning curve, then developing your own style, I guess, would be the thing. But as far as are you going to draw people to your channel just because you have a drone? Who knows? I mean, Chris bought a truck and he's drawing people. But he's not doing anything with his motorcycle videos now. I mean, he put out the helmet video and what would you say? 4 people watched it or it felt like. But so, I mean, it's, it's a toss up. Of course, my drone is not a $600 drone. It's a $200 drone off of Amazon. It doesn't do the fancy tricks, but then again, you get your little app and you download it. And where I live, you can't fly a drone. So I can only fly it when I'm out. And if I'm not in a state park or, something like that. So the 360 camera, it does what you want it to do. Like when you're driving down, check out that mountain range. Yeah, you can pan over and see that mountain range.
Yeah.
But my audio is recorded on a GoPro. So I've got to if I do the 360 video on the 360 app, I got to know where that mountain range is to get that view that I want of that mountain range. So, I mean, it does do what you're imagining it will do, but the syncing, it's like anything else. There's that curve. Once you learn that curve of how you want to do it, because that's why I've got my 360. Well, now I've got it set out on the bike, and it kind of looks like I'm sitting there talking to you instead of just the ride footage. Now I may lose people because they can't see that ride footage video. That's what they want. They don't want to look at me. They want to look at the road I'm traveling down. Well, usually when I'm doing a talking head video on the bike, it's not a road we're seeing. So, I mean, it's a catch-22. It depends on, like Randy said, if you got the money, if you got the time, that's what it boils down to, I think. Anybody in the chat that wants to chime in, go ahead. But, is it going to draw people to your channel? No, the only way you're going to draw people to your channel is get on Fiverr and pay that $25 for 1,000 subscribers, and then they're not worth having anyways. So
they're all watching.
So I would say I want to do a quick plug on that, as well as add to what McStash is saying as far as Donna commented in there saying thought about getting a drone, but want to not wait until my channel improves. And I would suggest I'm going to do a quick plug to say, if you're not a member, come join us at the Support Bikers Content Creators, because we are doing workshops weekly on every spectrum dynamic aspect of motovlogging specifically. So if it's drones is a topic that is going to be coming up. And what I mean by that also is that if I wanted a drone, any equipment that I've want, whether it's the camera, whether it's a drone, whatever the case might be, I'm going to do the research on it, make sure I'm getting the right thing, like, McStash and Randy are talking about, and then get the drone or get whatever that thing is, because yes, there's a learning curve. Yes, there's licenses that may have to be, certifications that may have to be accomplished, but in the end, long run, I'm gaining skills for myself. Plus, if nothing else, I'm adding a niche or just adding a separate another aspect to my channel. So that's why I say, if you are dead set that you definitely want to get a drone, it's not just limited to motovlogging. It could be anywhere you go. I mean, you could capture family events on playing sports and junk, or at a reunion, or a kid's birthday party, or anything. People use them for weddings. So
it actually does really neat pictures as a third perspective. So
I don't have one because one, like Derek has said, it's the financial piece, plus it's the time, plus it's the energy, and like what I'm doing right now. Will I have one someday? Maybe. I just don't know if it's something that's for me. But just like I said, I'm not trying to target you or single you out. Just saying, I encourage, if you're wanting one and you've already done your research, you know what you want to get, don't let the channel factor piece be the the part that holds you up.
Yeah, definitely. To be clear, I did not buy the drone for my channel. I've wanted a drone for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, Bubba John, when he was on with us, he had a drone that he built himself, and we talked about it a couple of times. So it's been something I've wanted for years and years, and it was just one of those, well, hey, since I'm already doing this YouTube thing, I kind of have a creative eye myself, and blah blah blah. Just one more thing to kind of add those sprinkles.
And
so if you want it, get it. Don't do it for the channel, because you never know. That's you're setting yourself up for failure as far as that goes, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, everything was going great for me until one day an asshole decided to pull in front of me. So shit happens.
Don't sweat the license and registration. I did it all in an afternoon. You go on, you read, say yes, no, it's done. The registration, once you fill it out, one of them you got to pay like $10, $15 maybe. You just print it out, and then you stick that number on your plane, and you're good, unless you're flying in a place that's restricted.
Yep. All right.
Derek, I think you're next on the questions.
I am. Okay, so Mr. Contrarian that I am. So Harley Davidson just You knew it was coming, brother.
Well, can you give everybody a second to look that word up you used?
Sorry.
Because I'd need to look it up myself.
Somebody got word of the toilet paper. Word of the day toilet paper.
No, I got a shit ton of student loan debt. I'm a devil's advocate. I'm a scorch. So Harley Davidson just released the Nightster. We haven't heard anything if they're planning on bringing the Sportster back or anything like that. At least, I mean, obviously we know that it's mostly for the European and other markets because of Carb 5 and all that. What do you guys think about the bike? And do you think, everything considered, the fact that it's liquid cooled, the fact that it's a 975cc, the fact that it uses a non-tank tank, like the V-Rod did, which was not a huge hit with the Harley people back in the day before I started riding. Do you think it's going to be good for the company? Do you think it's going to be a shot in the foot? What are your general overall thoughts?
Okay. So, do I think it's going to be good for the company? Yes, because if for no other reason, we have to look at who the target audience is. It's not us. Nobody in this chat. It's the younger people that are that are commuting inner cities, that are not going long distances, that are, they're bar biking it or commuting around locations. I mean, it's got the cluster gauges. I want to do more research on it, which I know it's already almost 3 weeks past its release or reveal. So I've been wanting to pull up competitors side by side it for prices versus, down to the nitty gritty of like ABS or traction or whatever, cruise controls, things like that. Because I was, my understanding is it's across the board for the price. You're going to have people that think it's a good price. You go to another region of the country, you're going to have people think it's a bad price because the dealer marked up the damn thing. That's another factor of it. For the bike itself, I like it. I'm looking forward to at least demo riding it. I'm not in the market to buy it. I'd like to demo just to get the experience of seeing how it feels. I'm sure it's going to be quick off the throttle. Ty loves his Sportster. So, the tank underneath the seat, like the V-Rod, again, I think it's a what? Did they say it's like a 3.2 or 3.5?
Yeah, it's the same size as the.
Yeah, so like I said, it's not meant to go on. That's my biggest thing is when people critique it for. I'm not saying anybody here has. That's the general observations I've seen in chats and on Harley's channels. The critiques on it, it's like you have to look at the context of what they're not doing it for Mr. 60-year-old guy out there who's been on a trike or been on a full dresser for 20 for 5 years or 6 years now. It's the younger audience. We are all, I think one of you guys mentioned it in a previous live we did, we are all kind of crossing over into that older base, so like it or not, but I like it.
Yeah. I was waiting to see what Harley would do with the new Sportster. I think it's a good step. Because I think really when it comes down to it, you're eventually probably going to have mostly water cooled and all the emissions.
Yep. Neither
Indian or Harley or most of these companies with their exhaust sucks. I'm sorry. Every one of them has a can this big. I blame New York.
After the seat.
Yep. Unless you live in New York. Then you probably have to put headphones on and quieter exhaust in the stock. But I like what they did with it. I like the styling and everything. I don't know in person at the size of it if it's going to be equivalent to what the older Sportster would be, if it's going to be shorter, longer. I really didn't compare measurements and
it
looks longer to me.
Yeah, that's what she said. But
I'm just betting 1,000 today.
I'm about to say Derek is just stepping up to bat in the batter's box there. You're on deck, man. You're swinging home runs.
But I guess if we're going to compare anything, we're going to compare the new Sportster. Power-wise, it's closer to the Scout 60. Price-wise, it's closer to the regular Scout. So I think that's where it loses out as they started it out at $13,900, I believe. You can get a Scout with more horsepower for that price or lower, versus the 60, which is pretty close. Basically, that new Sportster is like right in between power-wise. When you compare stock bikes, 60 is a little bit less. The new Sportster, and then the regular Scout. That's not to mention any power or other bigger bikes or anything out there.
So now maybe this then. I mean, you said it's between two different ones.
Yeah.
Does one of those have cruise control? Does either of those Scouts have ABS? I don't know. I'm asking. Those are the things. Riding in the Ozarks, Mike brought this up when he was comparing some stuff on the day of the reveal. Was pointing out that he thought it was comparable because the Scouts versions in that same price range did not have certain things, and this one did, or vice versa. So it's kind of a trade-off depending upon what the person's looking for.
I think for most regions, ABS is still an option around here. I think some countries it's mandatory to have ABS now.
EU, it's mandatory in EU.
Yeah. So
again, the target.
I guess if you're comparing them price-wise, they are very similar in every way, I guess. I don't know how that changes with the ABS. I think the Scout 60 with ABS is like probably still close to 10,000. So it's still under 10,000, before you add on all the other crap to it. So, but I mean, it's a good step. It's just, I guess the price is what, again, would put it out of a beginner's market for me. If you're going to buy a brand new bike to start off with, the 60 is probably still a better bike than that. Then you get into that. Then it's, of course, the Scout's been out a little bit longer. This is still new tech for Harley. So
version 1.0.
Yeah. So I don't know.
A good point too there, though, is the other factor that is the people buying, a young kid without any previous bike experience buying a brand new Sportster like that.
Yeah.
Or Scout, whatever the bike is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's a good step. I guess if you got the money to spend the price on that size of a bike, then go for it. I'm sure when the mods come out, it'll be a great bike too. I'm sure that's going to be they'll probably have a better market for aftermarket than the Scouts do still on that. So I guess it's a good starting point if you want to spend the money. So I guess
to be honest, I haven't looked at the new one. The Sportster I was actually slightly impressed with because Harley's starting to get where all the other manufacturers are. Now, granted, Harley is not like the other manufacturers, and they are held to a different standard than the other manufacturers. But the fuel tank under the seat, people's been doing that for years. It's a balance thing.
Yeah.
The guys I ride with have Kawasaki police bikes, and they have Honda police bikes. They all have miles to empty. They all have cruise control. They all have all the things that you have to go to the touring model to get on a Harley. I think Harley is actually finding out, they're behind the curve.
To some degree, yeah.
The problem is, for so long, Harley marketed their lifestyle and, the Harley brand, that straying away from that is straying away from the Harley brand. So all your Harley fanboys are going to scream, what's this with a liquid cooled engine? Well, straight up, what is it with it's fast, it's power, it's fuel mileage, it's EPA. I mean, it's just, you're going to kind of have to do it, or you're going to have to get on an electric bike because they're trying to get rid of all the gas anymore. But I don't know. I'm not a Harley fanboy. I ride a Harley because the network of dealerships around, and as anybody who's seen 2 of my videos knows, I need a network of dealerships around. Otherwise, I would probably still be on a Goldwing. So,
have any of you ridden one of the water-cooled Harleys yet? No. I just wonder if they're a lot smoother.
Pan America.
I tried.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's a lot smoother, like sitting at like a stop, because I know like the older version of Harleys always had that shake at the stoplight.
Pan America. Go ahead, Randy.
No, I was just going to say that, I've rode the Sportster. I've rode the Pan America, and it feels a lot smoother to me. Super quiet, but super fast. I don't know if I don't want to take over your answer, McStash, but I'll go ahead and. So when I saw the Nightster, the first thing that came to mind was the Street 750 and the 500, both liquid cooled engines. One, the Street was a V twin, where this is the Revolution Max. I've said it before. I love the Revolution Max engine. I'm sold on that engine. I think it's a good bike for a beginner. Nobody here. I'm not saying don't go get it. But it's a lightweight bike. Some people don't want a big 800, 900-pound bike, but they want something that's beginner, somewhat reasonably priced. But I think it's a good idea because they needed something in that market because the Street failed. But that Revolution Max is a game changer to me. I think if you sit on one like a Street and you sit on that bike and you rode them, you night and day. But that's my opinion. I think it's a good move. I like the bike. Obviously, I would not go buy it. That's just not for me. I would be more in tune to go get the Pan America before I would ever buy this bike, just because
it's not the market. You're not interested.
Right.
No,
apples.
That's why I said earlier. It's not meant for,
Right, and I 100% agree. I mean, I think it's a great bike. I mean, they got to have something out there for everybody. So
I mean, if I could add back in what McStash was just saying, he brings up another great point about that is that, I mean, Harley has been behind, and somebody made it, who was it? Trip and Trikers made it a comment, been behind for the curve for a while. People don't like it, or whether you do like it as the fanboys or not, but the Indian and Victory both coming into Polaris, I'm going to mess with it that way, coming in and buying Indian and making that a competitive brand, it helps the consumer, bottom line, because we're all seeing different innovations and different technologies and all that stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. It cracks me up when I see people griping in comments or just in general on the floor, on the showroom floor or something. It's like, look, if you're not in the market to buy a bike, why are you bitching? Like what Randy said, enjoy the inventiveness. That means that Rev Max means they've got a long way to get the groundwork up that they can just improve on. Hopefully, don't screw it up. But I enjoyed just watching the creativity on any side of them.
So let me preface this as it was my question. Let me preface this by saying that I think Harley is in a catch-22, as you others have alluded to. They can't win either way. They try to bring in new blood by doing different things, and the old heads are up in arms. They try and cater to their core customer, and the market's like, WTF, you guys are stuck in the 50s still. So that being said, I think that actually, even before I get into that, let me point out the SNL wannabe Mr. McStash's announcer guy made a very good point earlier, and I want to point that out. He said, how much longer till we're at a point where the average rider can't work on their own bikes anymore. I think that time is coming. I mean, there's always going to be somebody out there who, with the, if there's a will, there's a way. But I mean, everything to this day, whether it's computer software, everything is either planned obsolescence, or they want to get you into a subscription model where you don't
new every two.
Exactly, you don't own anything.
It's like a cell phone.
So that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. I really appreciate that. I like it. Me personally, the two biggest problems I had with the Iron 883, lack of a sixth gear and the high up tank, the center of gravity. If the Iron 883 had a tank under the seat, I can't say that I'd still be riding that bike to this day, but I certainly would have kept it longer than I did. I just really didn't like the high center of gravity. I mean, even when I rode the Navi today, it's definitely a bike that you feel like you sit on rather than sit in, as opposed to my Lowrider S. I think the bike for what it is a good bike. And I've harped on this, and you guys know, my big thing is Harley doesn't, even more so than the Sportster Iron 883, Harley does not have an entry-level bike anymore. I don't care what anybody says. A 975cc motorcycle, especially liquid cooled, is not a beginner bike. You know, and again, they're damned if they do, if they're damned if they don't. But that bike, I mean, if they'd come out with it and it was like 12 grand, I'd be like, okay, it's a little more than I expected, but you know, I mean, it's got more power than the old 883 or Iron 1200 did. So, you know, I could see it warranting a little bit more money, but at 13.9, you're only like what, 15, 16, less than $2,000 away from the Sportster S, which again is not a beginner's bike. I am very impressed that they came out with ride modes on the Nightster and ABS and cornering ABS.
Sorry, I'm reading. Don't mind me.
It's okay. But here's the thing. I mean, I believe we're all, because I don't think I've ever heard you say how old you are, Randy, but I believe we're all Gen Xers here. So, yeah, like you said earlier, we're heading into that, you know, that off to the pasture type deal. So,
hey, speak for yourself.
When I made that comment, I didn't say we were dead. I just said we're transitioning into a different age group for demographics and market.
That's what I meant. I didn't formulate it better than I should have. But,
stay in the medical field, man.
So again, I don't think they can do anything right or wrong. Again, like Randy said, I am in love with the Rev Max. I made more than one video on my channel about it being the future of Harley. I would love to see nothing more than that as a stress member and a new touring frame bagger that drops the street weight of a street glide or a road glide by like 50 or 100 pounds. I would be first in line. I don't care what bank I had to rob. I would find a way to get the money for it.
So let me ask you that then. I'm going to cut it on your because
sure.
Based upon your question, are you saying that in the statement of it's not a beginner bike, is that because of its height, its weight, its cost? Is it because, I mean, it sounds more like you're saying primarily it's the cost because it's the smallest bike.
Power and cost.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I believe that the Nightster is less compact to, you know, not than the Iron 883, because I mean, it looks like, honestly, with me, I feel like I would have to put different bars on it or roll the bars back because I'd be almost kind of like a cafe racer type situation just by looking at you know, in the videos and the pictures.
Yeah.
But to me, Harley has always shot itself in the foot. And again, like I said, they cannot win, but they've always shot themselves in the foot from a standpoint of, we want to get people in, we want to get them riding, we want to get them, you know, buying the dressers and you know, doing the trips and all that, which I'm totally on board with. You know, my next bike is going to be a bagger. I don't know what the brand of it's going to be. It's probably, unfortunately, like Jason said, it's going to come down to dealer network. I mean, there's no denying that. There's an HD dealership in pretty much every block almost. You know, if I wanted, let's say I wanted to get an adventure bike and I was going between the Pan America and the BMW 1200 GS, which I really wouldn't ever consider BMW, but I'm just using this for as an example. I have to go all the way down to New York City to the closest dealership to get one, a BMW. So, I mean, that's a non-starter for me. So, long story short, I've been harping this for the longest time, and I'll say it one last time, and then we can move on because I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me say it. They need a smaller displacement bike at a more accessible price. They need us. I mean, okay, yeah, I know, Randy, you made that point, and it was very well taken about the 500, the street 500 and 750, but they have to do something. That's
a good point, though, between what you're saying and what Randy said now, because with the Rev Max, doesn't that give them more room to stay with the same engine dynamic? And I'm speaking without having the mechanical knowledge, but like you said, they like what they did with the Pan America versus the Sportster. They just cammed it down some and made it in.
It's either that or just like any other combustion engine, change the bore and stroke.
Right.
But
it's easier to do versus having multiple engine sizes.
Yes,
I guess.
Yeah. So I just, I don't know.
Because if we look back to like the 70s and the 80s, when Japanese manufacturers made a 250, a 350, a 450, a 550, back when the market probably could handle that, those were beginner bikes. You know what I mean? You had your parallel twins, and then eventually you got up to the 4-cylinder parallel. And of course, if you know the CBX 1000, that was definitely not a beginner bike by any means. But I don't know if manufacturers can afford to do that anymore. I mean, how many people buying those? Honestly, I see there are bikes that are 125s, up to 200, 250, whatever, that are street bikes. But you look at it, like a good example is the Navi you just bought. It's not meant for a full size adult like me, say 6 foot something, to get on there and ride it all the time. Versus
I'm 5'11", well, almost 5'11", and I got a few pounds on me, and it handled me just fine. Granted, acceleration is slow, but it's because it's a 110cc engine. It's not because. How
far are you going to ride that bike though? You know what I mean?
I would take it. Assuming comfort wise, as far as like the seat and all that, because I'm not going to put an aftermarket seat on that thing. I paid $2,000 for that bike. Hey, Old Spice.
There's our sponsor.
That thing will get. It has a 0.99 gallon tank. You can get basically 100 miles to the tank.
Yeah.
I would gladly ride that thing 100 miles. Granted, you're not going to go any faster than probably 45, 50 miles an hour. So it's all back roads and stuff like that. So it's not meant for, like, I couldn't jump on it and ride it down the expressway or even the back roads really to go visit Jay Sutcliffe in Syracuse, because it just won't go fast enough. But as like a commuter or an around town bike, I think it's good. And again, I'm not saying Harley needs to go that drastic, but even and who knows? Times have changed. I mean, the Street came out 4 or 5 years ago at least. Who knows? Maybe they can make it work with the, as Toby said, with the Rev Max engine and a more accessible price. Because here's my biggest thing. And that's where I was kind of going with the whole Gen X thing, but I kind of got off kilter with it.
Call us a bunch of old fucks.
Don't blow our bones. Tell us what you really feel.
Kids these days, and I use the term loosely because everybody's pretty much a kid to me, just about. Except for you, I said just about, Jason, just about.
Get off my lawn.
I'm just wondering how you can call anybody kids. I'm calling you kid.
You only got a couple on me.
I need Bubba back. Daggone it.
Damn.
I know, man. I know.
I just got to get a cutout of him made and have it stand right.
Anyways, let me say this last bit. The kids today, or younger folks today, they don't appreciate what made in America means anymore. And I'm not going to get into the whole, half the Harley bike comes from other places or whatever. They don't appreciate that, and they are they've grown up in a society where everything you can off of Amazon for as cheap as you can. Yep. Nothing drives me crazier. I go on a message board or whatever, I see somebody, miracle, blah, 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 blah. Then they, instead of going to the corner store, or the locally owned business to buy something to help keep, one of their neighbors, living, putting food on the table, they'll jump on Amazon and save $5. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If it's something like $20 or $50 or whatever, and I don't mind if it takes a day or two to get, I'll do that. But the job you save may one day be your own.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that for now.
We talk, and I guess we'll talk a little bit about like the bigger bikes, the touring bikes. I mean, I know we talk a lot about Harley and Indian. Okay, they do things a little bit better than everybody, I guess. And then people complain to change something too much. But then you look at, like, say, the Kawasaki market. When was the last time Kawasaki changed one of their touring bikes? The same motor now in 2022 versus 2010.
Well, here's the thing. From a corporation standpoint, you're only going to make changes if you have to. The only reason Harley came out with the Rev Max is because of EPA. They would still be staying with the Milwaukee 8, which I think is a phenomenal engine. I missed that bad boy so much today when I got on that Navy. So they only do it because they have to.
Yeah. But like you said, like I say though, like who else is competing with Harley and, well, of course, Goldwing, but really that's about it. It's Goldwing, Harley, and Indian for touring bikes. Suzuki, what have they done lately? You know what I mean?
Kawasaki makes a decent touring bike.
Yeah, but when was the last time they updated it? You know what I mean?
That's the Vaquero, right?
Yeah, the Vaquero.
Yeah, Goofy Bastard was talking about that once. Is there's, he's, it still kind of looks like
they pulled a Harley upgrade.
Yeah.
But the interior dash of the Vaquero, doesn't it still kind of look like have that old Victory look to where it's now like analog or digital gauges, not
Yeah,
somebody had one at VAM last year. It was like a midnight blue, but a little lighter. Man, that bike was fucking gorgeous.
Let's see now, like I love the Vaquero. I think it was a good design on the bike, but they really haven't updated the transmissions or engines, nothing on them. I don't know how. Must be they just detuned something to make the emissions. I don't know what changes they've made to have them come here.
And Lawson, BMW come up with that. My BMW come up with that bagger now.
Yeah,
R18 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I did see that.
It looks pretty sharp.
Yes,
because it looks like a fucking streak line.
Yeah, that's fun. It's if
that still has the sideways engine though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the transverse.
That's my complaint with the BMW. Where the hell do you put your feet when you're on the highway? Do you set it right on the freaking pistons or what? I'm not sitting with my legs spread out like I'm at the gynecologist when I'm going for a ride. You know what I mean?
Dude, don't say that when I'm drinking.
It's the best time to do it.
I was like, you only ride that on the days of the appointment, right?
Yeah. Get everything warmed up before you go in there. We just lost our sponsor. But,
So my question is a little away. If you're cool with me throwing mine out there, my question is a little away from the bike, that kind of thing. So some of you guys saw it in a pre-text, but so this is also the crowd, the chat room. You this is a scenario-based question. If you just finished a great 300-mile ride yesterday, right? Good weather, all that kind of stuff. Weather today is like you see it here, at least in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, where it's your 70-degree weather, clear blue skies and everything, beautiful. Are you going on a ride again today after doing a 300-mile ride yesterday? And if so, are you going to go, what are your factors? What, like tiredness, different locations, other groups, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess for me, it comes down to, what do I have to do at home? You know what I mean? What do I have to do? I have to spend time with my wife who doesn't necessarily want to ride, family wise. Would I do it? Yeah. I mean, if you're going on a trip, you obviously do it. If you're doing multiple day trips, tiredness doesn't really, I can say I don't usually get tired on that short of a ride, 300 miles. You do a little bit, but I'm, couple beers, go to bed, wake up next day, I'm ready to go again. I'm usually more energized after a ride the next day. You're like, oh, it's great to finally get out, especially here in Throttle Fiend. You have these long winters here. When it's time to ride, you want to get out as much as you can, whether it's 100 miles, 200, 3, whatever, So I guess my big factor is, what do I have at home that needs to get done, or what projects I need to get done would be the only reason I wouldn't ride, I guess, 2 days in a row.
Whichever. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of asking Randy. Most of you can test this. Part of that question, I guess you could say, adding to it a little bit, is, do you, in your answer, and add to it, Chris, is do you think that when you're going, like when you rode to Sturgis, right? Do you think your mindset of riding daily and plans and strength and all that stuff, does it change versus, you got a great weekend coming up, you're working Friday, you're working Monday, so I'm going to get 2 long ass rides in on the weekend. So take it also from that piece. Does that change anybody's, as you go through your question or the answer?
Yeah. I mean, if I have the time to do it, I'm going to be out there. Honestly, I don't think riding the day before would stop me from riding the second day,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Riding's freedom. Riding's me not killing somebody. I actually have recently started doing, on a regular basis, funeral escorts. which means I'm riding every day, rain, shine, otherwise.
Yeah.
50 to 100 mile day. It's not, 300 miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no problem with that. We have, and I don't want this to come across as high on myself or calling anybody out or anything like that. But
you're the oldest guy in here. You ain't got to worry about that.
me and the wife have pulled iron butts by mistake before, just doing trips and stuff, not doing it on purpose, just because we enjoy riding and we have a place to go. When we go on our 10-day trips, if we want to get to Georgia, we get to Georgia, and that means turning some miles. Now when we get down to Georgia and we have a destination down there, we ride around and avoid the Blue Bike and Doyle like the plague. But no, I mean,
He had to throw it in.
I had to throw it in there. Sorry, guys. But no, as far as riding, if it's riding to get to a destination, we'll turn whatever miles we need to turn. The wife is a trooper. She will ride tank to tank. She has no problem doing that. And we have, with the grandbaby, we do family rides. I've had the daughter on the back of mine, and the wife had the grandbaby on the back of hers, and we will get on it and go. And it's at that time, it's an enjoyment. So 300-mile days back to back, nothing but a thing. As far as just local riding, I think sometimes it may be hard to do 300-mile days back to back because lack of destination. I mean, just riding in circles, not so much,
Yeah.
So I think that's what matters to me. If I'm going to Hillbilly Hot Dogs today and then we got a chance to go again tomorrow, maybe. But if I'm going, to Georgia and back, or last October, I got the opportunity to go to Florida to the Forgotten Angels. 2 days I was down there, 2 days 25 hours down, 25 hours back. Did I do it because I wanted to do it that way? No, there was a storm coming and I had to avoid the storm. So I did some beat feet and did what I had to do. So
yeah,
I guess, depending on the situation. For just getting a suntan, probably not. But for getting some miles, oh yeah.
Okay.
I can say a big factor in me being able to ride back-to-back long days too is the bike. Now, when I had my Vulcan 900, could I do that? No. I would come home from 200-300 miles on that bike, and I loved riding that bike, but I'd be laying on the floor for about half an hour. My back would be all screwed up, and I'd be tired. And yeah, but Americade's not that bad. They got a lot of bike companies come up there. Americade's like the biggest East Coast rally.
That's in New
just
York?
to go up there. Yeah, that's up in the Adirondacks. Yeah, old farts are at every rally. Go to Sturgis, all old farts and
ride.
Yeah. Go to Sturgis. You go to Sturgis and the old ladies have all their shit hanging out and they just paint over their nipples. So it's old farts everywhere.
I thought that was fringe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's paint on the hairs on the nipples.
Oh, I thought that was fringe. I thought that's why all the old Harleys had fringe on them. I saw it and I'm thinking that should be an Indian. What's all the fringe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be anything out there. That wasn't tassels hanging off the handlebars. Those armpit hairs flying in the breeze. Just because they're braided doesn't mean it's leather.
Might have to get
It's braided. It's called a get back whip.
Man, if that's underarm hair braided like that, you're never going to need a get back whip. People just go stay the hell away.
Yeah.
God,
where's Old Spice right now? We need Old Spice for the armpit care. That's a good time for the sponsor.
Take care of that.
They called me just a minute ago after hearing that braided comment. They're canceling.
This news just in: we got a sponsor from Nair.
Yeah.
Nair and what's that? Hair care for men thing. What the hell's that one? Yeah, Manscaper. But, hey.
Anyway, for me, combination of both. Got stuff around the house to do, family time, I've done back-to-back long days. It's not a problem. Just plan it out. But it's usually something going on, like this damn live stream that keeps me from riding,
Right.
Got to talk to the manager about that one.
Yeah.
But
he's too busy getting his armpit hair braided.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it's just life. Life happens, I'll ride multiple days, 100 up to 1,000, over 1,000 miles if I have to. Depends on the situation. Just plan it out. It's just it's not a big deal. I love it. That's why we do what we do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, I would if I could, unless there's something to do. Gotta get things done in life.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much same with me. It just depends on what's going on and a little bit of what Jason said as far as if I'm taking long trips, but they're local. There's only so many things I can do around locally. There's so many routes I can take before it's just like, okay, same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem doing multiple long days.
That's what after you ride the same roads after a while, it kind of gets
Yeah.
I've ridden every single road in Chautauqua County. New York. I rode quite a bit through Ohio and Erie County. Kind of sucks. I mean, everybody doesn't pay attention here, so the roads are
Everybody
horrible.
doesn't pay attention anywhere.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, guess whose question is it next? I think we've asked all our questions.
We have, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That went pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anybody got anything else going on? I'm looking at the comments. I don't know if anybody in the side stream, side chats, whatever, have any legitimate questions to ask.
You know what? I want to address this here real quick. Smitty Independent said he would love a trike for Mrs. Smitty. I'm going to dispel a trike rumor here real quick because a lot of people don't understand trikes.
Yeah.
Trikes are work. You've actually got to push and pull those handlebars. Some of them have a slight assist to them, but even a rake, when you get a rake on, it's work. It is not a power steering apparatus.
You can't even call that rack and pinion.
No. If you're worried about, me and Throttle Fiend had this discussion. As a matter of fact, he has wrist and hand problems, so a trike is probably not what he needs to look into. Now, the Can-Ams do have a power steering to them.
Yeah.
So people always want to know about that. Always say, well, when I get older, I'll get a trike. Let me tell you, from a guy who rides a trike a lot, it's work. It's nowhere as smooth and as easy as a motorcycle by any means. Now, I have not been on a Can-Am, so I don't know, how great they are. Have not been on a true tri-glide. Mine is a converted trike. It does handle like a dream. And if you ever ride with a guy named Harley Moonrider, he'll run you over in a turn. You can get some turns on. They're not slow, but it is work. It is not just, something anybody can do. So
Ozarks is pretty good. Somebody that rides a trike. Ozarks, when we were at the back of the Dragon, he was going around that back of the Dragon. He was still right on you pretty much.
Yeah.
That whole way. And he moves.
You can learn how to ride them, but it's not, you can't take it as because you can't do a bike. You can do that. If you want to go that route, you might want to look into a Can-Am or what's those big cars.
I almost learned that the hard way.
Miata, Mazda Miata.
Yeah, we were
motorcycle things or whatever they are.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, wife was demoing a 103 Road Glide 2020 or 2019, one or the other, and they happened to be out there. So I was like, okay, I want to demo ride the trike that you got just because I want to see how it feels.
Yeah.
And one of the sales guys went with us, and we were in inner city, whatever. We were going back around some neighborhood curve, and she took it. He took it, and I tried to take it, and I almost flipped my left side back wheel up and over, and I'm like, oh, I know I can't corner like this anymore, so I had to.
Yeah,
it introduced a new dynamic.
My thing is with a lot of the newer trikes too, like the Can-Ams and the Slingshot, they are still rear wheel drive too. Which to me, if you're going to go out and put two wheels in the front, I'd rather have the power up front in that case. Because I know, like, God, what's his name? Black Phoenix.
Black Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yes, he was
If you get on
sliding all over the place.
Yeah, if you get on an incline like this, like a stone driveway, you're spinning that tire to back that thing up. You know.
And on the Dragon last year, he was fishtailing around some of those turns because I mean he was playing, but you that is something you got to take in mind. I mean, just because it's got 3 wheels, don't mean anybody and their brother can get on it. Yeah. But no, who is that? Who said that?
What?
Somebody asked about the Riker being.
I actually have test ridden one. I test rode the Riker 900 for Kristen. It was before.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I definitely felt work, but again, this is my first time out of a 3-wheeled vehicle. It definitely felt I definitely had to push and pull a little bit. Probably not as bad as what you explained, Jason. I was surprised by the power that thing had for a little 900. I think that if it fits, as with everything, I always say get the right tool for the job. If that's the right tool for you, by all means, go for anyone for that matter, go for it. If it's not, don't. I mean, I had fun on it for the limited time I had on it, but if you're used to riding on 2s, and unless you have to go to 3 wheels, don't do it.
Well, and you got to admit, some people, Dan said it there, slingshot. Some people just, you know what? Some people belong in a slingshot, not on any type of.
Yeah. Especially those people
those kind of people are typically the ones you put in the slingshot and pull it back and let it go too.
There's
the ones you really want to stay away from are the ones that buy the slingshot and then they put the roof kit on it.
Right, or the Vanderhalls.
Those things are freaking expensive as hell.
Yeah.
I've seen one, I saw one. Somebody brought one to one of the bike nights at my local Harley dealership. And then when we went to Ohio and stopped in at Iron Pony, they had them in there. And just for shits and giggles, I walked up and looked at it, and I'm like, "This thing's fucking $40,000."
It's regardless of the satire to it or not. If you watch Bikes, Beards, and Brews back during was it VAM or I can't remember what we were out of town. Was it VAM or was it the Poker Run? When on that Friday he released a video that he did, what grinds his gears was the slingshot. Yeah. And if you go watch that one, it's there's a little bit of fact to what he talks about, but there's also some great satire, some great perspectives. I mean, one point I remember him bringing up was, if you think about it, you're going to buy a slingshot, 3 wheels. It's basically a car, and it has one less wheel and not nearly the amenities of the I think he said the Camaro, the baseline Camaro. And I was like,
that's the thing. I always say Miata. That's it. If you're going to buy something like that, just get the 4th wheel and whatever. Have a roof that's convertible. You can pop up and down at that point.
Or a Mini Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, I get people buying the Can-Ams or the trikes because their backs can't hold up, or if you can't lift your bike anymore, that's might be something to think about.
Yeah, but definitely.
A slingshot to me is, and this is just my opinion, but to me it is a whole other clique by itself, a niche by itself. But it's like you're flashing money around and you're indecisive because you didn't want to go with a bike, but you couldn't handle 2 wheels, but you don't want to ride a trike or a Can-Am Spider around. So you're going to go with a car on 3 wheels.
If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to build an OG dune buggy.
Yeah, but some people should be on them, not on bikes.
Agreed. I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I will say, I can't stand those slingshots. I'm sorry. I have no problem with anybody riding a trike. I can remember the last year of Roar on the Shore where they had Mayor's ride into downtown Erie, and then everybody gets into the hub and tries to back their Harley or Indian or Suzuki in. Here's the asshole in the slingshot trying to do a 5-point turn, trying to back it into a motorcycle spot. There's about 30, 40 bikes behind him going, I got shit to do. I want to park and go have a beer. This guy's trying to back this thing in the same way you back a motorcycle into a parking space. And I'm like, after a while, people just start shaking their heads like, all right, you should have parked with the cars.
Yeah,
you know.
well, you should have, yeah.
But whatever. I mean,
Hey,
if you want to live,
I'll give. Well, actually, I don't give 2 fingers. I do this, but I'll do that to a scooter. I'll do that to a trike, but I will not do it to a slingshot.
Nope, exactly.
Yeah, it's not a bike.
I've said that. Yeah, because I'll give massive, the wave even to the scooter, those things. I mean, if you're brave enough to ride a 50, 7,500 cc little bike with wheels like that,
unless you're on the freeway, then I ain't waving to them.
Yeah,
you got massive balls. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, don't get on the highway unless you're filming an episode of Jackass. Don't do that.
That's the long way down. That's another way to say it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. That's why I say I do like the Can-Am Spiders. I've tried the Riker's too small for me. The one that Black Phoenix has is kind of too small for me. We had some at the dealership in Erie, and they had the big touring one that's got the trunk and everything on it. That's like sitting in a freaking Cadillac. It's got the good suspension, the bigger tires. There's a lot more room. You could kind of kick back in that, relax a little bit. It's still kind of had the feeling that you're on a bike without, if you can't stand it up, your legs aren't that strong, or you got back problems, then you can still experience the wind, I guess.
Well, see, that was my thing. I mean, I've never actually sat in a slingshot, but
I won't even bother.
No, I'm just saying from a standpoint, when we went to an Indian dealer to look at bikes, like this was over the summer, that one video I did when we did that the museum tour at that one Harley dealership. We went to an Indian dealership, which was right down the road. We didn't get any footage there, but that thing sits so goddamn low, excuse my French, sits so low to the ground that I think I would have a hard time getting out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I used to drag race Mustang. I'm used to sitting in small, low to the ground cars, but
well, the thing is, if you're going to sit in it like a car, but yet you still have to have a motorcycle license in most states, and you still have to wear a helmet in most states. But at that point, I'd rather just drive a car. If I got to go that route. Yeah.
Yeah, New York.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, you don't have to. In Kentucky, you don't have to. A car license probably, but you ain't got to wear a helmet. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to act like Batman, so I don't need to be getting in and out of the Batmobile.
Told you if I was going to do that, I just build an old school dune buggy.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, if I could have the Batmobile that turns into a motorcycle like the Dark Knight trilogy, I'd be all for that. But yeah, I don't know, with that big stupid wing in the back, and I don't know. It's still rear wheel drive.
Yeah,
it's the only way to go.
Yeah. But except from my perspective, I don't know if anybody else has got anything going on. Hopefully, people are going out to ride. I may go ride the lawnmower.
As long as you don't use the electric one.
Yeah. My lawnmower has 4 wheels, and I don't need to wear a helmet, but I do need to wear a cowboy hat. So.
There you go.
Is that a Pennsylvania state law?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you can't. How can you ride a tractor without a cowboy hat on? No, come on.
I do it all the time.
I don't know. I've never ridden a tractor.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
I have a big tractor, not just a lawn tractor. I have a big tractor and don't wear a cowboy hat.
My lawnmower has more power than this motorcycle out here. So
straw hat with a stack with the weed coming out of the mouth.
Yeah.
Or the straw.
Yeah. My dog pisses on all the weed, so I can't do the straw.
You know how they fix that around here? Get you a possum pecker.
Yeah. I was about to say. That's not if you're like Mr. G, you're making snow ice cream or whatever it is, just using the yellow snow for flavoring.
Right.
That ain't Mountain Dew.
You're starting to talk like Dan too. Like Dan when you said that.
So you need to have a separate camera set up from now and then, Chris, is to separate camera with a cutout of Dan for the 6th camera.
Right.
That could be my green screen.
I gotta put.
Oh, you're asking for it. You do something like that. There's all sorts of.
I'm gonna have to put the 360 camera on the mower now and go out and do a vlog.
Right. Be like, what's that one guy in
Pretty good
Ohio?
shot of that dog shit.
Oh,
I did do that that electric mower last year. I put that GoPro on the handlebars once when I was trying to do the demonstration, show people how quiet it is and how well it works. And I still had that guy that says, "You didn't even show us how to start it." I'm like,
That's why I brought it up.
freaking push button, right?
"Yeah,
It's
hey, you don't even
electric
push a
mower.
button. You just squeeze the thing and go."
Yep, we got one too.
Yeah, that electric mower. That's my number 3
yeah.
video. Yeah, that's my number 3 video this month right now. If I look at my
Sure.
analytics, yeah, it's like 2 Maverick videos, the electric works lawnmower, and then my 2 Sturgis videos are 4 and 5 still.
It's dead in the winter, but it gains
Yeah.
traction in the spring and summer.
Yeah, everybody's looking for a mower now, and they don't want to spend gas money. So there you go.
All right, question. Matthew Boyce says he would watch a moto vlog from the seat of a mower. Do I have to wear a helmet? Is all I want to know.
You see, you don't have to wear a helmet, but it's not a
Does
bad
it-
idea.
I mean, is
You
it a
have to-
moto vlog
forget
without
it.
the helmet?
Yeah. Just don't play music over it, or you lose some of your fans, I guess, on
Right.
your videos. I could do the 360 camera. That might be interesting on
There
the
you go.
lawnmower.
Promo guy says strap a camera to your
Yeah.
pooper scooper.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's
This is
full
a
of ideas,
DIY
let me tell
how-to
you.
video. How do you scoop poop?
I feel like I need to do that as a short video, and it'd probably blow up on like TikTok or something.
You do that. You say, create a new video that says, this is in response to the person who commented on, you didn't even show us how to start it.
Yeah.
You'll get banned. They'll tell you that's for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Start a series, How Shit Works. Just have all random tools. Just pull the damn trigger. Put the battery in, pull the trigger. How shit works.
I'll be waiting on pins and needles for the Phillips head screwdriver one.
Yeah. Yeah, people will tell me it's wrong how I'm doing it, though, still. Torx. Use a Torx bit screwdriver. That's now how I use a Torx bit. Don't use the Torx bit on whatever wooden products. I get those all the time. I had somebody tell me not to use my jack on soft ground out here for that last Maverick video. I can't believe that one's my number 1 Maverick video.
What,
The last one I did.
you
The
did a
last one I
video-
did.
You did a video of jacking on soft ground?
Yeah.
That's your OnlyFans channel?
How shit works on OnlyFans.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to do a video. I can't. I just want to come up with a video that doesn't really necessarily need to be made, but I want to make it anyway, just to see, because those tend to be the ones that get all the views.
Well, what you need to do then, you need to get with Smitty Independent or Bolt Bucket or RK, one of them Australians, because they're twisted in the head anyways. I mean, not in a bad way, but they can help you out with some ideas. Did you see Bolt Bucket's what do you do? First aid kit?
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Only pants.
Only fan.
I was like, what is he suggesting? New content? And then I realized, no, okay, he's talking about the other platform.
Yeah. Well, that's what you look at, like how they advertise the TikTok videos too. So and so said something about you. I'm like, what'd they say about me? People get suckered into that all the time. It's like that's what they titled it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this video's about you, and like few hundred people jump right on there immediately. What are you saying about me? You know. But well, I think that's enough for this show. We got enough. Got through the questions, got through the shenanigans, had our Some good ones. I don't see too many more comments coming in. 14 people still here. That's pretty good for the full length
Heck,
of the
and we
show.
got 14 thumbs up too, so we're doing real good.
Hopefully. Let's see, where are we at with that? I haven't honestly looked at it. 5. We got 5 thumbs up.
I've got
Thumbs
four,
up.
I'm seeing 14.
For thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Hit refresh, CDL.
Yeah. Refresh. Let's see.
Hey, there's 15 watching.
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 15 watching. 13 thumbs up. Cool. Alrighty, folks. Till the next one. I'm assuming we'll probably do at least one more, and then that'll probably be it for the season. After that, because I'd rather be out riding today myself. But I know if I'm not doing this, I'm also working on shit in the yard, so I'm still not riding. That's the bad thing. We have to wait for the good weather to do all the stuff, but then the good weather comes and we don't want to be doing that stuff anymore. But life of being an adult, I guess. Not adult content, but
I hate adulting.
yeah, being adulterous. See you tripping Trikers, Ozarks. Good to see you again. What else is in there? Matthew Voice is always here. Smitty, first time I've seen him here in the chats in a while.
H.H. Plymouth just joined us.
Let's see. H.H. Plymouth.
Yeah. Hey, man.
He might have been there. He's been in there for a while, just hasn't commented.
Yeah.
Kind of looking.
I know. My daughter didn't show up with math questions. She's on the road today anyway. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do the live stream today, so we would have missed out. Would have had to do it on Easter, pretty much. Later, Donna May. Haven't seen him on here in a while. I got to get caught up with everybody. And Smitty says it's 5:30. Time for coffee there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
I think it's time for coffee here in my afternoon.
That's no lie.
Yeah. All right, I guess we dragged out the ending long enough. Thanks, everybody.
And then AB just shows up. Man, you sound good.
Now it's time to leave.
All right, roll it back. Start it all again.
All right.
Oh, geez. No. Now the OnlyFans kicks in.
Now you're going to have to rewind everything, Anonymous, to watch it. So watch it a few times. Get me some advertising money. I need to do
stopping by.
Yeah. I need to do an oil change again on the truck soon, so I need the money. Send me your money. If you donate 1 penny a day, you can save a child in the Northeast.
AB was the wrong link. AB was out doing what we were all talking about wanting to do.
Right.
Damn live streams.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be on the bike later. I'll be rolling it back into the shed. Amazon. I got to clean it first. It got dirty sitting out there. It doesn't like sitting outdoors all day. The spoiled motorcycle. But all right, everybody. Third time I'm going to say goodbye. So bye for now.
Have a great week.
You know.
Stay shiny side up if you go out.
Safe. Yep.
Peace.